y'all, so this tutorial is all about highlight and contour, and I wanted to make it because you see a lot of the crazy highlight contour videos out there, but I feel like it's best when it's kind of natural, when it looks like something's different about your foundation, but I don't really know, but you look good, so it all kind of goes together. So that's kind of what this is all about, and I did it kind of in my living room in natural light, so that if you don't have a vanity with all the lights and bells and whistles, then that's fine. You can do it in front of a window with some good lighting and you're all set to go. So I'm gonna kind of talk through it. Hopefully that makes it easier to follow along, and we'll get started with moisturizer. And this is a clean and clear moisturizer, and don't be shy with moisturizer because it's gonna help you in the end not look like a big powder donut cakey ball. So let's get moisturizer on there. I like this one because it has like acne fighting medication in it, so it's also keeping your skin clear while you're makeuping. And I like to just put a couple of dabs under my eye of extra because my eyes get super dry lately, so I just like to make sure they're nice and moisturized. Okay, so now we're gonna go to primer, and I'm using the Laura Mercier foundation primer. And this doesn't have like any shimmer or anything in it, it's just a regular primer. You can use whatever you prefer. And again, don't be shy with your primer. Go on and lather it on. Just make sure you're getting it all over your face. I like to get my eyelids too, even though we'll go on with eyeshadow primer with them later. Just because I feel like it kind of gives them more unified, you know what I mean, Alright, and lastly, I like to use this Makeup Forever smoothing primer, and I just like to go in with this on the pores. So, we're just going to go in on the side of the nose, and I like to just smooth it under my eye just to give it a little bit of a more smooth base. And we're gonna do the other side. And by the way, y'all, don't judge my edges. I did not do my hair yet. I always do my hair last because you get makeup in your edges and all that, so there's no point in doing it first and then redoing it. So I woke up like this. Alright, so I just go in the T-zone with the smoothing primer and just a little to finish off under here. Alright, so now that we've got everything on, you're probably like, my face is like a glob, but it won't be. I know it feels like really thick. It will not, and here's why. You're gonna take a powder brush and a translucent powder. Today I'm using the NYX translucent powder, which is great, and it's only like $10. So save yourself some cash and pick this up. And you're just gonna swirl it on. And don't forget your eyelids again. And you're really just giving it like a light dusting, but you just want to make sure that you're swirling it all over. And this is going to take down some of the shininess from the moisturizer and the globby feeling and the slick feeling on your face. It's also going to set your primer. And then you don't think you have to set your primer, but I don't know if you ever noticed, but sometimes you start putting on your foundation or your concealer and it feels like your primer is like sliding around with them, and that's not what we want. So we're just swirling that around. Alright, so now we're going to go on to highlight, one of my favorite parts. And I am using the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer. I checked the name because I didn't know all those words were in it. NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and I'm using the color Medium Dark 1. It is Biscuit, and I'm just going to use a flat concealer brush. I mean, this is literally a no-name brush called concealer, so you can use whatever brush you prefer. And what I like to do is I like to take some of this and just put it on the back of my hand. So I'm just going to put it on the back of my hand, a couple scoops of it. Probably go 3 scoops for now, because you can always go back in and get more if you need it, We're going to start with the under eye, and I'm just going to take this and smooth it underneath, down around my nose, and I take it up the side of my nose a little bit too. But basically, we're going to create an upside down triangle under here. And as you can see, this is a pretty light layer, but I'm going to go in with a second layer too. And also take it underneath here. It's nice to have some brightness underneath your nose too. And that'll kind of like unify everything. Because you want it to be a smooth, like a one painting picture, not like a paint by number where you've got different things going on everywhere. So I'm going to follow up on the other side because having both sides of your face match is usually goals. So we're going to do that. And again, just slightly on the bridge of the nose. And when I'm doing the highlight and contour in the nose, I'm not trying to give my nose a different appearance. I like my nose the way it is. Basically, I'm just trying to bring out the features so that when your foundation, if you're on one color, everything's flat. So basically, I'm trying to kind of mimic what happens in real life with the face. So we're going to come on the forehead and just a little bit, and then down the bridge of the nose. And again, this is not, if you're trying to find a way to like slim your nose or to make it, you know, to do some sort of special effects, I don't know how to do that, so I don't know how to help you with that. I'm sure you can find somebody who can, but that's not what I'm going for here at all. Okay, so we've got that, and then I take a little bit under the chin. For my face shape, this works. For yours, it might not. And again, you just got to try and figure out, you know, where's your best areas to highlight. And I like the side of the mouth too. So, and this is just ever so slight right here. This is basically just cleaning up kind of I have like a dark spot right here that irritates me. So I'm basically just cleaning that up. I'm going to go in and grab a little bit more of that concealer. And I'm just going to go back under the eye one more time. And I know this is like looking like a lot right now, but trust me, it will not. Just have to stay tuned. Stay with me. I will not steer you wrong. All right, so second layer. And you can see the under the eye is becoming the most dramatic part of this highlight scenario that's happening here. And I like it like that. I feel like it just kind of gives your face that nice brightness and glow. And I'm all about the glow. So second layer on that side, and we're gonna go second layer on this side. And as you can see here, it is matching up nicely. I'm just carrying it down under here and out to the sides. Okay. So now, I like to take a second concealer, and this one is Dermablend, and it's in color bronze. Dermablend Quick Fix in bronze. And I just kind of like to use this as sort of a transition highlight kind of color. So I'm basically just going to strike this onto my face right here and right here, because I feel like this highlight is kind of bright, right? I mean, it's going to be amazing, but it is bright. So this kind of helps it sort of fade into the contour, at least for me, and I like that. So I'm just going to strike that in with the same concealer brush, just right on the sides. And I'm basically taking it to where my contour is going to start. I know, like, if you're thinking, like, holy crap, this is a lot of makeup. Like, how is this going to look normal? Don't worry. Don't worry. Just stay with me. Just doubt it now, okay? But then if you doubt it now, just be like at the end, like, you're a right girl. That's all I asked for. That's all I want. All right, so now for the contour, I'm taking Black Opal True Color Perfecting Powder Makeup, which actually is not really a powder. It's more like a gel slash cream. And this is in the color Carob, number 10. Same no-name concealer brush. And then I'm going to do my contour. So just sort of a triangle is what I'm going to do right here. And I'm just filling it in. And as you can see, it's not super extreme. I'm basically just going for how my face would naturally highlight and contour, you know, if the lighting is good and the sunlight, you know, when the sun's at that right angle, and you have no makeup on, and you see that natural highlight, you're like, yep, that's what we're going for here. I'm not trying to create cheekbones or anything like that. So, all right, now we're gonna go around the forehead. And as you can see, it's just slightly darker than my natural tone, not a whole lot. So it's not gonna be super, super dramatic, super contour. I'm not really into that. All right. And now we're gonna go down the nose. And as I said, this is not to make a new nose. So as you can see, I'm trying to find the high point of my nose with the highlight. That's what I did. And then I'm going on the sides of the highlight with the contour. And then I just kind of take it a little bit over to the side so it's not just two lines down the side. And a little under here. And now my chin, I'm just taking a little down the sides. So sort of an upside down triangle is what we're doing on the chin. And you can be a little messy with it. It doesn't have to be super precise. And that's it. We have highlighted, we have contoured, and now we're gonna go on to foundation. I'm going to be using the NARS, what is this called? NARS All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation, and this is in the color New Guinea. So shake it up. This foundation likes a good shake. Shake it on up. And then 2 pumps is what I usually use. 2 pumps. Secret Weapon. Do y'all want to know what it is? I'm going to tell you. You don't have to ask, I'm going to tell you. Secret Weapon is this Tarte I don't even know what this is. Miracula. I can't even see all the letters on here. Oil. Tarte oil. We're going to take 2 drops of it. No, 1 drop. I only use 2 pumps. 2 pumps, 1 drop. 1 drop of oil. It seems crazy, but it works. And then I'm just mixing this up on the back of my hand. So 2 pumps of that NARS All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation, and then one tiny drop of oil is what I'm using. And then I'm mixing it on the back of my hand. I'm going to take my Real Technique stippling brush to apply just a small dab in the foundation oil mixture. And now we're just going to blend everything together. So when I get to my contour, I'm just blending up. So I'm blending up, up, up. And as you can see, it's starting to create kind of one smooth plane is what we're getting. Okay. So that's just one pass. And I'm going in to the mouth too, because you want to cover up that concealer. And so as you can see, this is one pass. This is what we went from, and this is what we went to. Told you it would work. All right, so the other side, we're gonna do the same thing. We're just blending up. And I really like this foundation because it is full coverage, but it's very light. So it doesn't feel heavy, it doesn't look heavy. It's perfect. It's one of my favorites. I don't know about the whole luminous part, but it definitely gives a nice finish. Alright, so then I like to go over on the sides next. And again, we're just stippling it in. I know it looks like I'm pressing this in really hard, but I think I have a heavy hand. But I'm not hurting myself. Don't worry. Maybe this is what people mean when they say beat your face. Because I am kind of punching my face with this brush, but that's okay. Alright, so next side. And again, this is only 2 pumps of foundation. Not even two big pumps, two like medium-sized pumps. And you can see it's giving me nice coverage. All right, so then I'm just blending that out into the hairline because that's where our contour was. And we are almost done. On the chin, same deal. And we're going to blend down because we don't want that contour muddying up the highlight up there. And I'm talking like this because I'm doing my chin, so don't judge me, okay? So, got that done. Now we're going to go to the under the nose area and blend up towards the sides of the highlight. So, and as you can see, it's starting to look less and less crazy as we go on, which is what we like. You don't want to look crazy. Okay. Perfect. Now we're going to go down the nose. And again, I haven't added any more foundation this whole time. This is just a little bit of foundation. So it shows you don't need a ton of foundation to get good coverage and a good look. Because you don't want to look crazy. And the more foundation you build up and concealer you build up on top of that, it gets to be a lot. So I found this method makes everything come together nicely. Okay, now I like to just do one more pass right here and right here because I do have a couple dark spots that I like to get rid of. Ooh, I almost dropped the brush. So I'm just doing one more pass right there just for a little extra coverage. And that's just my preference. You don't have to do it if you feel like you've got enough. So one more pass right here. And I still got plenty of foundation left in the back of my hand. Now, you may be wondering, okay, so what are we going to do about the top of the eye? Because we didn't touch that area yet. This brush, it's not going to fit in there well, so use your finger. Take my finger. I'm just dabbing a little bit of foundation over top of that concealer. And if you're wondering, like, okay, so then what was the point of putting on all that concealer if we just covered it up? You did cover it up, but it's still there, and we're going to bring it back out with our powders. And when we do that, it's just going to look like amazing. I don't even know what else to use. It's going to look amazing. It's going to look brightened, but not overly done, you know? If you don't know what I mean, I guess you'll see what I mean. All right, so we've done our concealer, highlight, our cream, contour, and our foundation. So now we're going to move on to setting. And I'm going to be using the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder in a beauty blender, micro mini. You know, the itty bitty teeny tiny one that's not really good for much. At least I don't think it's good for too much. So I got my beauty blender. And then I'm just taking some MAC Fix Plus in a Real Techniques concealer brush. So first I'm just going to go through and I'm going to make sure there's no creases in that concealer. Because you know once it starts sitting, it starts creasing. So you're just going to lightly smooth it out. Just to make sure you're not setting creases. Because that's not what we want. Okay. So I smooth it out. Beauty Blender Micro Mini. And spray it with the Fix Plus. Give it a couple squeezes. Get the excess out. So it's damp but not wet. And I'm just going to dip it in that Secret Brightening Powder and apply. You know, I did too many squeezes. It got a little dry. Okay. And then we're basically just pressing that powder in on the highlighted area. And what that's going to do is that's going to set your concealer and it's going to lock it in. So you don't have to worry about it moving, creasing, none of that bad stuff. Alright, so we're going to do the other side. Same drill, just making sure there's no creases. That's the big thing. Sorry I'm making all these faces, but you know, you gotta get in there. Y'all know how it is. Okay. Alright, give it another couple sprays. I'm going to go back into that powder. And same drill. Just basically applying it where all of our concealer was. So we can set it. Because even though it's under the foundation, you still gotta set it. Or else it'll be all jacked up. I mean, I don't even know how else to describe it other than all jacked up. So we're just setting it. We're gonna set the under the nose. And again, you can be messy with this. It's not a precise kind of thing. Down the bridge, forehead, under the chin. And as you can see, it's very light. It's a translucent powder, but it has a little bit of shimmer in it, which gives the brightening effect. And you know, we put a little concealer here. But the thing about this powder is it can give a lot of flashbacks, so you got to be careful with it, and really make sure that you wipe away the excess, which is what we're going to do now with the Real Techniques setting brush. So I'm just basically making sure that I don't have any extra from anything else on there. And we're just going to brush away any extra that's left over. And as you can see, it's taking away a little of the powdery look when we brush away the extra, because of course we applied more powder than we actually needed. Okay. Now down the nose, we're going to get rid of that. Under the nose, side of the mouth. Get rid of that. And under the chin. Okay. So now we're going to go in with banana powder. I know everybody uses banana powder, right? Go with the banana powder again, dampen that beauty blender, and we're going to go back over those same areas with the banana powder. I'm just basically applying it again where we had our concealer. So it's just going right in there. We're going to do the other side. Very simple, right? I mean, these steps aren't too hard, I don't think. And you can use whatever products you have handy or whatever you find works best for you. So if banana powder isn't your best setting brightening powder, then use something else. But I think it's just kind of the order in which you use things that I found has really made the difference. If you have a different concealer you like to use, like, go for it. By all means, go for it. All right. Down the nose, forehead, and then maybe under the chin, side of the mouth, just a tiny bit. All right, so while this kind of sets and cooks in, warms up and melts with my skin, I like to do my brows and get my eyelids primed. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'll see you back with the next part of how this is gonna come together. Done. Don't you feel like a whole new person when your brows are done? Like, I just feel like I'm complete once I have my eyebrows like together. You know, it just makes you happy. Makes me happy. So anyway, back to the face. We're gonna take our powder brush and our translucent powder and brush away all that excess banana powder we've got everywhere. So I'm just swirling that translucent powder around. And then we're also setting the foundation too, because we didn't do that yet. Remember, we just set the concealer. So this is a dual purpose process. The forehead. The one thing I don't like about this NYX powder, when I said, you know, it is a cheaper option when you're going for a translucent powder, is I do feel like it has kind of like an ashy tone to it almost. Like I feel like my Make Up Forever one is more smoothing, but I've been trying to give this one a chance. So, and then under the eye. And again, the whole purpose of this is basically to set and to wipe away the excess. So that's what we're doing now. And as you can see, we still have some banana residue, and that is okay because we're going to go in with our Real Technique setting brush, the one we used before to wipe away the excess Laura Mercier powder. We're going to use this. And basically, I'm just going to let you get up in the corners and just really wipe away all that extra. Looking up helps. It looks stupid, but it helps. So again, you're just basically trying to wipe away any excess banana powder that's like just hanging out on your face, not really helping you at all. And make sure you get the corners. It can really crease up in the corner and under here. Okay, so next I'm going to my NYX Highlight and Contour Palette. As you can see, this baby is well loved because I've hit pan on this one. So we're going to take a little bit of the second color in. I know it's got a little bit of shimmer and I don't like that, but you know, I used up the one that I truly like. And the Sonia Kashuk Angled Blush Brush. It's brush number 113. And you're just going to go over your contour area. So I'm just taking a little bit. And as you can see, this barely makes a difference. It's just dark enough. Like it's just slightly too dark for me, but not too dark to make a dramatic difference. And this is basically like my transition contour color. So that's why I'm just kind of swirling it everywhere, not really being super precise with it. Okay, and then we're just going to do the jawline and where we did the chin too. So just swirling it all under those areas. Now I'm going to go back in with my Real Techniques contour brush in the darkest contour color. And this is where it'll make a more dramatic difference, but not too overdone. And we're just going to go back along the forehead and hairline. And this one we're not taking it as far in as we did the lighter contour color. So it kind of gives you an ombre effect. Ombre, I love the word ombre. And then we're just going to do the cheek. And just a swirling motion, mimicking that sort of triangle shape that we created when we first did the contour before the foundation. That's what you're going for here. And again, right here, same deal, just mimicking that same V shape or triangle shape or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to go one more time, and I'm only taking like 2 taps each time because you don't want to use too much. If you use too much, it's going to look like muddy, like you've got dirt on your face. And that's not cute, so one more time over here. And then after this, we're going to go to our jawline. And again, just right under the jaw. And then carry it down. Make sure you carry it down so you don't end up with like a weird dark line under your chin, because that's not cute either. Okay, so carry it down. And I'm just sweeping a little bit on the actual chin. Okay, and then I like to go through one more time and get the top here, just to blend everything in. All right, Now we're going to take the Beauty Blender one more time. Actually, I'm going to take my dry Beauty Blender, a dry one, and we're going to just take a little bit of banana powder right under the contour, just to give it a little more oomph, a little more pow. And I'm using this without any Fix Plus because I don't want it to leave a super dramatic effect, just a really light effect. Okay, so now I let this set while I do my eyeshadow. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to be using the Lorac Makeup Pro 2 palette, but we're going to speed through that because that's not the point of this video. And when we come back, we'll finish up the face. See you in a moment. Checking things off the list. Eyeshadow done. Now we're just going to finish up the face. So remember, we were letting this kind of set and mold and mesh and melt and all that good stuff. So now it's time to brush it off. So just another little dab of translucent powder, and we're just going to brush it away, and then also circularly brush up to blend in all the contouring we did with the powders, and that kind of like sort of buffs and sets it, I guess. Same thing on this side. So you're wiping away that extra, and then you're just kind of blending in the powder contour because you want everything to blend and just mesh really nicely. And then one more for the forehead because we just want to buff and blend that together and set everything down the nose and then nose. Wait, there we go. Alright, so if you made it this far, you're like basically done. We just have a couple more steps and you're good to go. So the next one is blush. I'm going to be using this e.l.f. blush palette, and this palette, I want to say was $6. It may have been less. It's $6 or less when you get 4 blushes and a huge mirror. So for $6 or less, it's an awesome deal. And my Real Techniques blush brush. And I'm going to be using this darker color down here. And just a couple taps, and I'm just going to swirl it in right over our contour. I went with like purpley pastel shadow today because I've been eyeing it in that palette, and I just haven't used it, so I was like, why not today? Today looks like a good day. Why not today? So I went with it, and just lightly swirling the blush on. I feel like blush is one of those things that you can easily get too much of, so it terrifies me. So I just like to go in like 2 taps at a time until I feel like I have enough, because if you've ever done one too many taps, you know, it's not good. So I can just use a little more right there. And that's it for blush. And I'm basically just taking it at the same angle as I took my contour, so everything is nice and unified. Okay, so now, like my most favorite part, really, this is like the most exciting part, is the highlight. And I'm going to be using the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector Pressed, and this is in the color Rose Gold, and it is, I just love it. Okay, so I take my Sephora fan brush, 3 taps, and we're just going to put it right above the blush and on that same angle as we took for our contouring. So same thing on this side, just right above the blush and at that same angle. And I think this gives like a really nice natural glow. I'm going to go in one more time with a few more taps. I usually go 3 times on each side. The thing though, if you use too much, is you're going to look like greasy, almost like sweaty, because you'll have this like overload of shimmer. So you just want to be careful and just make sure you're not overdoing it, because the goal is just to have a nice kind of luminous look to your face. Okay. And I'm just blowing it down just a little with a couple taps. Now we're just going to take it down the nose. Same brush. And again, a couple taps, however much you feel is appropriate is what you should go for. Okay, top of the lip. Alright, and then for the top of the lip, I like to go back in with a little more detailed brush. This is an Estee Lauder brush I got a while ago. And I just like to give it a little more definition. The Cupid's bow. And right in here. And then I just pat it a little. And if you want even more intense, it's a little trick. You don't have to do this every day, obviously. Just give it a little squirt, a Fix Plus dab. And you can see it's definitely amped it up. Alright. Last but not least, the temples. So a couple little dabs. I'm just going right above the brow bone. And this area is just a very light bit. Just right above the brow bone. And then a little on the chin. Even though we did contour a little there, it brings a nice brightness, I think. You just have a little bit of the powder highlight. It's not too intense, it's just enough. And then I like to go in with this Buffer fan brush. This is a no-name brush, literally just says Buffer fan. I just like to take it and kind of blend that highlight in here, just to make sure that's not overly done. So that's it. That's the look. I'm gonna throw on some lashes and some lipstick to finish it off, and so you kind of get the whole picture. Because I feel like until you have the whole picture, you're like, I don't know if I like it or not. So I'll be right back with that. And so here's the final look with lipstick and lashes, and of course, hair done. These lashes are by Huda Beauty, and they are the Scarlet lashes. So I hope that you guys enjoyed. I hope you found it helpful, and I'll see y'all next time.